Okay. Here,
So-
let's take your wires apart so I can show you how to
This allows you
show
to
you how to
it's a double
rehook it.
in and out stroke on your.
So like either this one's open or this one's open.
That's right.
Okay.
So that allows you to either.
So what you're gonna do
for air to
is
go
you're
out and
gonna
extend it, or
take
you
these
open it the
wires
other way,
And then
and you're gonna make
so it allows you to extend.
basically make the wires do a U-turn.
And if you look
just,
at a cylinder.
To hook them together, and you want it to be
Yeah, we should have some.
like
There
that.
are- There are two kinds. There's single stroke.
So once you do
that
that,
extends, and then
yeah, wires are
it's
so much stronger. They're like
so
little
a spring
needles.
will make it come back. And
Just
then you
felt
also
that.
have double, and in those you can actuate in both directions.
So it's got like an inlet here and an inlet here.
Exactly
so
right.
So then you're gonna fold
And
it together
what
to
this
make
does is
sort
it
of a
actually
knot.
opens up, so.
Or
so
whatever.
it can force the air back out.
Exactly.
Ah, that's cool.
And then the other thing is, it's just like a syringe in a hypodermic.
And then you're gonna, well, that's already prepared.
Push it.
You
so
put
you
it
have
in
a
the
metal
alligator clips of your helping hands.
rod, right? that goes out
You're gonna
there.
grab your solder
It's got more
and
pressure
take
when
this,
you extend it,
the
because you have
soldering
more
iron,
surface
which is
area on
really
the back
hot,
of
you
that
don't
disc
wanna touch the
pushing,
metal.
right?
and you're gonna touch the
Because of the
soldering iron
diameter of the
onto
rod,
the solder
You
so that it
reduce
melts.
by the area
And
of the rod
you're gonna melt
versus
it
the
onto
area
the
of
wire.
disc.
And what that
So if you
basically
got a
does
50-pound
is
stroke
it's a
pushing,
low
you may end up
melting
with only a
temperature
45 pullback.
metal, and
So
it will
as you
melt
design
onto the
your
wire,
robot, you need
and
to
once the
think
wire
about
gets hot enough, it will
how much
create a
force you
metallic
need.
bond with the wire,
You
holding
match
it all
the proper diameter of
there
the cylinder.
and
So
together.
especially on
So
like
if you
dragonfly, where
go
we
ahead and
needed
solder
a
that,
certain amount of lift
you're
to
gonna
get the
wanna
thing off the ground.
get a nice
to match
coat
the
of
diameter
solder
of
on
the
it.
cylinder in the rod. And the other thing
There.
we did is we kind of matched the stroke. You don't want it to go too far. So the difference
Yeah,
between
and now you,
pneumatics and
once you got that,
hydraulics, you can slowly
um,
change the amount of fluid.
you're gonna
flow
hold
rate,
your
so you
soldering
can actually
iron
move
onto
a
it.
hydraulic at different distances. Pneumatics,
and
it's
that
all
will
about
heat up the wire, and once it's
open
hot,
and
you'll see
close.
the
So you gotta
solder
use
sort
different
of
tricks to
get absorbed by the wire, almost.
safety glass.
Yeah, there's safety glass.
They'll spit on you. You're also teaching them heat shrink too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And these connections are all different too. They'll teach you how to. There's a special tool that you can use to press down. It releases the pressure, so it's got a pressure that binds and holds the
For the
connection.
cables?
Yeah, for the
Is
little
there,
wires
like-
in these.
Is there like a special
Yep.
thing?
That's
So there's a
getting
special
down in
tool
there.
for
That looks
this. This
about
has
right.
got
Now
pressure.
you'll rub
And
the
then
tip onto
especially
that
the
napkin,
pressure control module,
wet napkin,
and the
to
voltage control
sort of clean the
modules.
solder off.
These funny little.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
These will depress with
Now,
a
once
really
that's
small screwdriver.
cooled,
So it kind of
you're
opens
gonna
it up,
take
put the wire in, and you
heat
release
shrink
it. and
tubing.
the tension
I was
on
just
the-
using an Allen wrench
And
to do it for the
you
radio.
could- yeah,
and I was,
you could do that.
I should have. Probably should
There's-
have checked.
No, that's fine.
There was some special.
you might want to use this size.
You know, small
Special
single.
fucking-
Now you're gonna cut it
Yeah,
so
some
that
flathead.
it covers the metal and part of the insulation.
See if this is installed.
Good.
This
right.
tubing's
There?
pretty awful.
Yeah, you're kind of getting it onto the crimp part.
But it was
Move
like
it
last
back
year
out.
we
Well done.
ran out of money, so we didn't have tubing.
Remember last year when it would pop out of the valve? That was loud.
Really
Well,
dull.
it's because things like
Yeah,
these.
I know. We need better wire
Teeth.
cutters.
See, that actually
Why
cut
do we
off
not
a
use
piece of-
scissors for this?
See if you can get a screwdriver or something and.
Good question.
Should probably actually
and
be using
prise it out
scissors
of there
then.
with a-
There's some kind of like cutting.
To see, your solder, it's not really gonna fit into any of
So scissors work good for
the
that.
more fit.
These are.
What?
Yeah, that'll work. Maybe.
This is what Bill handed
A
me.
little
Not
overkill.
100% sure.
Yeah, that was just a little overkill.
Okay, so you're gonna
It's like butter.
rub it on, put it onto the wire.
Take it out, yeah, we'll get it.
Yeah,
clipped.
just put it on.
That doesn't work. Maybe
Some
some
other
small
wire
ones
cutters.
over here.
And that
Alright.
hopefully will work.
Andrew, if you don't find
Better
tools
than
over
the
here,
No.
scissors of
Honestly, those were like overkill. Those just kind of like went straight
Oh,
through. Alright.
Now you're gonna take the heat shrink, the heat gun. It's basically like an overpowered hair dryer. You're gonna turn it on to high, and it gets pretty warm. You're just gonna aim it at the heat shrink tubing, moving so that a hole doesn't
Okay.
develop, and it will shrink it down
Whoa.
onto the wire. You might want to turn it on to high.
Yeah, high heat. There you go. So when you do heat shrink tubing, there's multiple ratings. So some will actually shrink a third and a half. There's some that will change it. And that's really important if you've got a big connector that goes over, it'll only shrink a certain percentage. So if you put too big of a piece on there,
You just have like
It
such a large
it won't
solder.
pull down tight onto the insulation.
So what's the point of putting on the heat shrink?
Well, what it will do is it will cover the solder so that it doesn't touch any part on the machine and short out.
So
and
think
it will
about it.
also-
How does electricity flow? Does it flow through metal or through insulation?
Metal.
That's
So-
what.
So you put the insulation over the metal.
So heat shrink works like magic electrical tape. Basically,
Yeah.
is instead of running electrical tape, you've got this really cool stuff that the heat, it's an elastomer.
Yeah.
That when you heat it, it
I could have
shrinks,
told you if they were
shrinks down.
downstairs, but.
Okay. So now that you've gotten that, you're going to want to strip the ends of this again,
I don't think it's this.
if you will.
I don't think it's deep.
That's, well, you're getting close. It may be able to collapse it. See how you can collapse that? Maybe from the side. Hopefully you can get it out. If not,
Oh, that didn't want to
be a victim of this bad tubing, I guess.
Yeah.
go. Both ends?
Yeah, both ends. Because next you're gonna check for continuity, and that's not essential. You don't have to do that every time, but for some solders, you might want to do it, and it's just good knowledge to know how to make sure there is a connection. So you're gonna take your voltmeter, turn it all the way down to the diode sign. You're gonna take the probes and connect it on both ends, and if there's a connection, it should flash a number other than one.
Using that for this.
And there you go.
Fantastic.
You have a good connection.
I did it.
It will be broken.
Yeah?
Those really didn't have enough
Well,
anything in one of them.
Now, next you're gonna crimp.
Yeah, like,
Where did
this
the crimp
one,
stuff
that
go?
one at least had a few.
Oh, there it is. Next you're gonna crimp a connector onto it.
Sometimes when Tag comes in, we should ask him if he took, they took
That's something that
bits
sponsors
Now we
could do, is
makes
stuff to
that
get.
more powerful.
I'm pretty sure we never use these connectors in a robot because it's not that practical.
Yeah.
But when you make a crimp, you're gonna take your wire and it's gonna insert into the connector, and you don't want the insulation to be into the narrow metal parts
Yeah.
there, you see? And there's a tab down there. You want the metal
get much
to
better.
be at the tab.
Okay.
You don't want it to be over or
You're welcome.
too short is
So that's a
negligible.
good trick to.
So once that's like the perfect length of stripped
We're
wire.
good? All right.
So next you're gonna take our
Show you another trick.
strippers,
for,
and there's a yellow dot,
Yeah.
and we have a yellow
see any more
connector.
that don't have the connector?
You're gonna put it in there and squeeze until it releases.
So just mash the dot with the connector.
So,
Yeah, and
take a
make sure
wrench?
it's
and
Oh, good
push
lord.
this down.
yeah. Sometimes you need like
This
extra
wire's
hands.
like 3 hands.
You see what-
Yeah,
One to hold the connector, one to hold the
How long did they
stuff.
I gotta be careful. You do not want to crimp your finger.
That's right. Just kind
say 2 hours?
of press it down.
Alright.
Yeah, and so press,
And
Down against
there you
that.
go, and that is a good crimp.
press
It's on the connector well.
here. Let's do this.
Fantastic.
There you go. You are now certified.
So, yeah, press.
Woo! I did it.
So if you notice,
Oh, I
right,
turned this
that
off.
kinda goes-